Okay, there we go. I didn't set up the transition hotkeys. Hello! Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney. It's me, Andrew, and with me is John.
Hi.
We're ready to get back into this game.
Boy.
We started this mystery on the boat. Our friend is dead. We were just about to go into the second room after investigating the first room and the hallway, I think.
Mm-hmm. That seems right.
Yeah.
My brain has just taken all this information and put it somewhere else.
Yeah. You no longer need it.
Yeah.
Actually, I forgot we can even look at the dialogue before.
Oh god.
Oh, okay, so what happened was that guard left, so now we can investigate the room without him, probably including going to, we saw this already. No, this is new. Okay. That book on top of the table there really is huge. There's a pen with it, too.
Yeah, sure, the ship's log.
Shall we have a little look through it? The writing is... Sorry,
The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded.
You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting.
Anyway, look here. Last night's log is mostly blank.
Presumably that means there was nothing to report. Or it was erased. I think we can check the room. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to.
The thing from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging.
Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Knock, knock.
Sir. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries.
Didn't the... not Sherlock Holmes go in there? How annoying. Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin.
Such a...
Oh, you're flipping out really bad again. Stand aside. Oh, shit, that's you.
Oh. I'm about to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes! I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in not kicking doors off their hinges. Hey, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't. Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What prey can I kick?
I think we should just go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. 9th of January, SS Buria, first class, cabin number 2.
Dun, dun.
Hey, it's definitely the dude for the picture. Ooh, who are you? A Western gentleman. This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin, and I am definitely not a woman in disguise. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, who just screamed? Get out, all of you, now!
Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsey Royland, I believe.
Yes, that's me. And you are?
I'm the one and only, the actual Sherlock Holmes. You've heard of me, no doubt.
No.
I'm a great detective among great detectives, one who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no doubt. So I assure you, you may trust me completely.
The man uses that magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives.
We distinctly had a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be so bold to ask you to open that small traveling
It's
case?
definitely the bigger bag in the corner, not this tiny little suitcase. Don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that?
Like small Russian gymnast girl. Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk.
Don't look at me. What?
What?
Oh, God.
Did you see that, Mr. Dorville?
Yes! The case just shook. I'm shook. Leave, now. Otherwise, I'll call the steward with these scissors. So this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylott. Grimsby? I don't know. There's no doubt about it. The strange Russian man is hiding something.
I couldn't before.
Wasn't that...
Let's see if we can find some clues before that.
Yeah, that was narration. That was not dialogue. What is she agreeing with? She's in our head. Oh, did he just tell us to leave also? I'm gonna go straight to that. What's he sitting there? Straight to the suitcase. What do you think you're doing? This is my cabin. Get out!
Can we quickly try?
No!
Ah, what a pity. I think we're out of luck.
Damn, we tried nothing and we're all out of ideas. I think you're right.
There doesn't appear to be anything more we could do.
Everything in here is tipped over too. And it's in the same direction. The boat definitely tilted. Oh shit, I'm just not reading anything. Hold on. I think you're right. There doesn't appear to be anything more we can do. I agree, but there may be someone else we can get to help. Perhaps that great detective can get somewhere with Mr. Roylott. Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes?
You need only address me as Scholl.
That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there?
Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of deduction into service. Oh! And it would seem that this hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken?
Well, no, actually. You're spot on, for once.
Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylott, is trying to hide something. And do you know what the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Capitalism.
Yeah.
Why? The truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians.
Right.
Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Why, would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please! Well then, what are you about to see may well astound you.
Jake says this is about to be a new mechanic to the series, which he's been teasing me with the whole time.
Oh my god.
So
For I'm about to apply my great detective, greatly admired great deduction to this case. What the fuck kind of sentence is that?
Nice.
Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you?
Are we about to do like the analysis that we did in the actual Sherlock Holmes game?
I think so, but it'll all be shit.
Yeah. What?
From time to time it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? One is more offensive than the other.
Yeah. I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you or anyone.
That's right, and Mr. Schultz. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. Bias is the judgment.
Shush! I must have complete silence.
What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that?
Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylett, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions.
What? What do you mean?
Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to extend the existence of something most dear. Are you not?
Huh.
And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn. You are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not?
Ah!
I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Schultz's great deductions with my own eyes.
That was a great deduction?
Nothing can deceive Mr. Schultz. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person.
What? What ineffable twaddle.
Oh, yes. I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true.
I can hardly believe it, but all the color has drained from Mr. Roylott's face. Looks like somehow both of Mr. Schultz's conclusions were right. How? How could you?
How could I possibly know such things you wish to say? Very well, then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So, do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery? Let us board the train of reasoning.
We're already on a boat. Can't get on a train on a boat.
Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together.
Ooh. The great deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Conclusion. Old man's identity.
So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylett, obviously, what catches the eye in the first place? Is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now, we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard. You sport! Now, moving on. A question then begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of a magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter.
Ugh.
Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular, the fascinating front page article, which, it would appear, you have read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary.
So it seems like he got the first one right with the shears because it was an exclamation point, but it's a question mark in the last two, so I think it's wrong.
In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Villain Bolshevik.
So he already accused the main character of being this guy. I hope he accuses literally everyone of being the same person.
Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand.
Conclusion, a revolutionary on the run. Topic 2, wrongdoing.
Now, as for my second conclusion, you are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime.
Ugh.
And the proof of this crime? Over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see.
Ah!
And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth.
His eyes are behind pitch black shades right now.
And his mouth is obscured.
Yeah.
The answer we seek lies where the furtive glances fall. The proof of your crime sits before your very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be open and its contents laid bare.
No, I refuse.
What could you possibly be concealing inside, we asked? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps? One slight enough to fit therein.
Don't be absurd.
And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case?
Oh, there was like a
Dear
missing...
me.
Not a ballerina, like something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about her.
We are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oeil, whatever that is, betrays you.
I've never seen that before.
Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found on the pages of this newspaper.
Oh, so this person, I think, is going to be the woman who's missing. I don't know.
Like Mr. Roylott is actually the woman?
Yeah, that's my guess. It's not a person in the carrying case, it's like a cat or something like that. So
okay.
That's my guess. Because, like, I think what's going to happen is her lockhead's gotten, like, half of this right and half of it wrong, and we're going to go back and try to fix it. Because otherwise it's, like, not even a mechanic so far. It's just listening to him talk more.
And I don't think you're entirely wrong, because the actual guy has, like, very strong...
Yeah, like, this is not the same
angular
guy.
features. Yeah. Where
And,
this
like,
person's very round.
And in the picture, like, you can actually see his mouth. He has, like, that kind of mustache that goes around his mouth, and then a beard below that. This guy's all of his hair covers his whole face.
Yeah. If we turn from the fleeting revolutionary to the back page,
Yeah, I think this is it.
renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline could lead us to one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova.
Conclusion: kidnapping of a young ballerina.
This concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of the Russian enigma, Elemensky.
Suzaru-san, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it?
Stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that, did seem a little different somehow.
Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here a moment? Turn your back on the guy with those cheers. Yeah, there you go.
Pray, what can I do for you?
It's about your deductions. Would you mind?
Not at all. Go on.
Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other.
Yes, I recall our discussion earlier, and at the time, I believe I told you.
They have a different artist for the characters in 3D and in the newspaper. It's simply a question of style.
That the man is a revolutionary. Well, able to revolutionize his own appearance.
In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Roylott does look more like this man than you do.
That's not the point. And another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina.
Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman.
Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child in that case, even if you pushed really hard. Maybe you broke a few bones.
I don't suppose the missing ballerina is 5-year-old child, is she?
You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15.
No, I didn't know. How could I?
Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking up from the case.
That's how growth works.
Yep. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe.
15 in Russian years is like 5 in Japan.
A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain
Litheness.
litheness in their body.
Vinegar?
For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into confines of that small case.
Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes.
This whole thing is turning into a circus.
Mr. Naruhodo, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deduction just now.
They're complete bullshit.
I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seems a little off.
Your idea of a little, maybe a little off itself, Miss Suzato.
It's just one or two keywords in his deduction that seem to let him down.
It's more than a few keywords.
So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think?
Switch some keywords as deductions.
Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure we could do that.
You just gotta hit him with the compliment sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah, say something good, trash them, say something good. There you go. That's how you do it.
Yep.
We'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction.
Precisely the thought I was going to throw my own mind.
This man is a lot of work. Isn't it like this man is a piece of work?
He's a lot.
He's several pieces of work.
At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me.
I'm ruining my own life. I'm unbearable. It's not that funny.
Ah, and you, my good fellow.
Sorry.
Take a moment to look at your wrists.
Oh, take a drink.
Oh my god.
My wrists.
Where are your handcuffs?
What? How did...
I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in a dance of deduction.
I was wondering if the guy got him with his shears or something. I don't believe it.
Don't! You are cool.
I mean, presumably he's the one that put him in shackles.
Yeah. Maybe they just like weren't locked.
Yeah. Oh god. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished.
Oh, that's good. I was worried. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this.
So, let us begin. Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Topic 1, Element Identity. Conclusion incorrectly.
The dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott, obviously what catches the eye in the first place.
Is this already? Yeah, I think it's just a repeat of himself before, yeah.
Oh.
So I think we just get to the point where it's going to give us an option. It's like the testimony, I think. Yeah, that's a question mark. So yeah, here we go. We can... What's something out here?
Sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off your beard?
I think that's something I'll ever have to worry about. Doesn't quite sit right with me, though.
It doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylott either.
Which means, I suppose, that the deduction is wrong.
Let's try to switch a keyword here. Naruhodo-san, and see if it helps matters.
Alright, but how?
I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roylott.
I wonder if it's really his beard that he intended to use those shears on.
Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deduction better,
And what?
then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruhodo-san.
I might want to do something about it. Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylott really going to use those enormous shears for? So, if it is really a woman, maybe she'll cut her hair?
Can we turn him around?
Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, okay. Alright, we got it. It's definitely there. Oh, I didn't present it. I just said it. What the? What's this?
It looks like a cascade of stunning golden locks.
No. The color is not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Roylott's head? And how's it growing out from underneath his thick black hair?
Well, yes, that's true. So it's stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising.
Something's definitely not right here.
Yes!
It's like Quirrell in the first Harry Potter book. Oh shit, we're doing the thing. You're on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport.
Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. So as an aside, like, I knew about this, but up to this point, that's it.
Oh, that's what you heard in the video that you read?
Yeah.
Okay.
Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man.
Like how we were just talking about Herlock's ability of observation, and he missed the not even a little bit disguised hair.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. You're not a man at all, you're a woman. Because only women have long hair. Judging from the length and sheen of your hair.
One still very much in her youth.
Oh no. If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected.
The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of those magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed the light on the matter.
Oh,
I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary.
well, that was a shock. I had no idea that old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that?
Yes, it was a surprise. Never heard us on. You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Sorry?
You look like you're in the element as you dance around the room, deducing the facts with Mr. Sholmes.
I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. I don't like you or anything, idiot. This is strictly business, not strictly
Yes, I understand. Say no more.
Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now.
No, that's true. Given that Mr. Roylet is actually a woman.
Exactly. He, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary.
It's because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction then.
Yes.
Let's search the evidence for something else, something that fits the facts as we know, understand them.
For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. Feels like I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently, as recent as 5 minutes ago. All right, I'll do my best.
Yes!
Yes. The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina.
You've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we finally are able to address you by your true name.
Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina.
Nikolai Pavlova.
Ah! Oh shit. Just blood sprays out everywhere. You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean, Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. Old man's identity? A ballerina on the run. Solved. Alright, you kidnapped yourself.
Now, as for my second conclusion.
Is lagging for you?
Oh, yeah, I assume since this is what I've already read.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, so it's gonna be a suitcase, but it obviously can't be then. She kidnapped herself, so. Someone else mentioned a Mr. Roylat. I don't remember. Was it like one of the sailors? I don't remember. Anyway,
I
so
think
it's
so.
like I don't know. Like, is there a real Mr. Roylat? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, this woman is the ballerina, and she's right in front of our eyes. So clearly, she can be inside that traveling case as well.
No, that's right. It seems she wasn't abducted at all.
Jake says that the guy in the hallway said it, so I think
Oh,
he did know. Okay. In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently? I can't see. What I'm gonna. I can't. I can see. I'm gonna have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again.
You seem to look pleased, Naruhodo-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Sholmes?
Do you like dancing with other men? Stop it! Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to.
I just like that they're like leaning into it.
Oh yeah. Oh, tiara. Okay, she stole the tiara, right? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it belongs to the not her. It belongs to like the troop or whatever. Make sure there's nothing else in here, but that's probably it. Can I still look around? Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, what? What am I looking at? Okay. Bam. Wow, look at this dazzling tiara.
I've never seen anything like it. And are those real diamonds, do you think? Oh, Naruhodo-san, try it on.
And this is also definitely the it's definitely the speckled band from earlier. I bet she was like hiding it in the vent so it couldn't be found if someone searched their room or something. What? Me?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it usually girls who wear tiaras? Wouldn't you like to try it on? Wouldn't you like to reinforce the gender stereotypes?
I mean, doesn't Marth wear a tiara from like Fire Emblem or whatever?
If a guy wears it, it's a crown, John.
Oh,
Right?
I'm
Come
sorry.
on, dude.
Oh no, I couldn't possibly. It's far too beautiful.
Why does this tiara look familiar? Is it maybe in the same article we looked at 2 seconds ago? I feel like I've seen it somewhere recently.
Yes!
Your crime since before our very eyes. Yes, that tiara. Proof of your crime is surely this tiara. Ah!
Tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in the newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. Of $3, in summary.
The crime you have committed is theft. Oh no!
Yes, you left your ballet troupe unlawfully taking that precious tiara with you.
Ah! I have no one, no family, no friends. I am all alone, and I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, how do you say, an Earl of Prussia. It belongs to me. This girl's only 15 years old, and she's run away all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely. Alright, I will tell you everything. There's no point to hiding it now.
Come, let us not be hasty.
What?
There remains one unsolved mystery about you.
Mystery? What do you mean?
You have staunchly refused to open the traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish to remain closed.
Come on.
Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there's no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case even before I have ever laid my eyes. Dear me. We are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oeil betrays you.
Okay, we saw this before. I don't remember what the conclusion was. Okay.
Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the books on the shelf.
He's completely changed tack with his deduction now.
I think Mr. Schultz is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you?
Adapting is a strong word. Maybe, but why has he suddenly brought the bookshelf into all this? Just a wild guess, surely.
Oh, do you think so?
It doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her.
Yes, that's true, but still. Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself.
Like the trophy or something? Then there has to be some other reason why she won't open her case. And it must be somewhere in the same area. That's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn.
I agree, that's the only answer.
Whatever she has hidden inside that case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. The only thing different here, well, okay, we can't even point at the statue, so it's not that. It's a picture or the rules. Let's see what these are.
Yes, sir. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden.
Pets.
It's a pet.
There's exactly the same notice in our cabin, too. I wonder what happens if you break the rules.
I'm sure the punishment would be severe. You'd probably be left to drift in the freezing cold ocean.
Zero tolerance.
Or shut inside a tiny wardrobe for days on end.
So I've actually been serving time for weeks now, have I?
Yes!
Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden.
Indeed, that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That's the real reason you would refuse to open it, thus revealing its content.
As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time. But no weapon or other dangerous item would move of its own accord.
But one possibility, Miss Pavlova. Inside your traveling case.
Is the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage.
Rules.
A pet!
A pet! A pet!
I was going to struggle over Discord. Ah! Possession of a prohibited animal. Deduction complete. Elementary. So clearly, you aren't who you said you were. No, I am not Grimsby Roulotte. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova, as I have said several times. Everything you said was correct.
You absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel.
which couldn't have been easy. The Berea is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Could you really have snuck on board without being noticed?
In order to obscure your true identity, you somehow recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman. And you intended to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. Yet, to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone.
So if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, was it that let out the scream we heard from outside the cabin?
That veritable tinkling of a bell, why, none other than this young lady, naturally.
More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me. I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disgust myself so no one would recognize me.
Do you transform yourself into that questionable old man I see?
I put on the fur hat and fake beard. Then just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper. Right on the page, there was a picture of me. I was so frightened, I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearances completely, they would find me. So I decided to cut all my hair as fastly as possible. I picked up the scissors in my hand and...
At the precise moment we walked in through the annoyingly unlocked cabin door.
Things happen like that sometimes, don't they?
They don't think it'd be like it is, but it do.
Things do indeed happen like that from time to time.
Are those two even talking about the same thing?
There's just one more thing I'd like to know. Traveling case.
You were right. It is my dear friend inside. My only friend in the whole world. Please, don't tell anyone. If the captain finds out, if you say to any of the crew, he will turn him into a stew.
Your secret is safe with us, I assure you, but in return, you must tell us, in as much detail as you can muster, about the events of last night.
So, they still haven't said what animal it is, right?
I assume it's a cat.
Yeah, but well, it hasn't been a sound. It could be like... So, in the intro to this case, they're talking about a snake, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it could be a snake, maybe.
It would be a weird pet.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Because they were calling the snake the speckled band. Oh, and the way that he died, the cause of death was undetermined. So maybe he was poisoned by the snake or something. Yes, all right. I will tell you.
Mr. Naruhodo. Wasn't it something Mr. Shulman's great deduction?
Yeah, it was something. It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. But at least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible.
Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing.
Yes? What?
Observe your wrists. Drink.
My...
Your hands are cuffed again.
Oh, so they did that because they didn't want to make another animation of him dancing around with the cuffs on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
most
it.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. What? But how?
True to my word, I have restored your shackles.
When and why?
There is still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruto. Oh. I'm sorry to say, it can't be helped at the moment.
But we already know someone else committed one crime. Who's to say she didn't commit 2 crimes? Hello. Get these chains off of me. Can't it really?
Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. I have to find out what the speckled band that Kazuma-sama wrote about in his diary really was.
Jake in the chat is like, how dare you accuse these developers of laziness? Just look at how detailed the cuffs are. Here, just take one more look. One more look. Just get a really good look at them.
Oh yeah, I mean they're getting their money's worth out of like that model and animation.
I wonder if I can examine before I talk to her now. Look at the other bags. Let me see. Don't touch! Huh? I will tell you what I know about last night, but please, you must not touch my things. How'd you say, forbid it? Oh, sorry.
That's what you should be, young man. What vulgar manners you have. Poking around a young lady's private belongings. Neither shall I allow it.
Hypocrite. Okay. We'll talk. What happened last night? Did you know that someone was killed in the cabin next door to this one last night? Did you know that I did it? I mean, shit. One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast. The man who died. He was a friend of mine. Oh. That's why we're trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night?
Perhaps you heard a strange noise, for example? Perhaps people talking?
Perhaps 2 gay men fighting? Hmm?
Perhaps the ship was absorbed in a wild tempest. Perhaps its steam engines exploded. What?
Perhaps everyone on board would have noticed if that had happened.
Is there anything you can tell us?
I don't know. I'm sorry, but all I could think about last night was what I had done and whether they would find me. I didn't notice anything that was happening around me. Oh, I see. You're very helpful. You've run away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novovich Ballet? Yes. I'm traveling to Great Britain, and from there I want to go to America. Wait, no. Okay, hold on. So, we're in the Pacific, right?
Yeah.
So she's going from Shanghai to Britain and then to the US? Why not just go east?
That Andrew, you're thinking
Checkmate.
with your brain.
I got it. She's a killer. Take her by force. I will never
She
dance
actually
again.
is the Russian revolutionary.
Yes.
He was always a ballerina.
Yes, we figured it out. I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. I will start a new life.
You wish to forget a challenging proposition. When you have that striking tiara as a reminder.
But the tiara is mine. I need it to live. It is my phylactery. I am a lich. I have no money of my own. The Novovich Ballet gives us only a little food and water, and we must dance all over the world. I had to run away. I had no choice. If I stayed, it would have killed me.
So you ran away to protect yourself.
Yes, and the crew of this ship, they've all been kind to me. They let me come on board, and they said I could hide in this cabin. Oh, that's why the guy was so protective. The guard.
Ah.
Yeah.
If that is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlova, it creates a most intriguing conundrum.
Yes, it does. What do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Me? Oh, well, yes, of course. I think we should hear Miss Pavlova's explanation. To what conundrum? I'm not sure, but... Conundrum. So, they're willing to sneak her on board, like, knowing that she's a girl. But they're not willing to let her keep her pet, I guess.
Yes. Miss Pavlova, allow me to pose you a riddle. According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday that you absconded from the ballet. Now, that being the case, it must have been last night that you boarded this vessel. However, the SS Beria stopped by no port last night.
Mm. Ah, that's it, of course.
So how is it, pray, that you could come to be aboard?
Okay, well then, how does this... If they didn't stop by a port, how do they have today's paper? What is going on here, dude? Yeah, well, there's no date on there, but like, what the fuck?
I think the crewman outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that. It was just after we asked about when the occupant of this cabin came aboard.
That is not your
That
business.
is...
How dare you, John? That was my kid.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something. An angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage. Sorry, what was that? It is how the Russian newspapers described one of my performances. And that is how I came here too. I descended from the heavens. Because I am an angel. I dropped from the Fortnite battle bus. Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description is very vivid. So they're speaking English. Alright.
Mr. Sholmes once said I never can resist a touch of the dramatic. It seems Miss Pavlova is the same.
A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detection. Words once said about myself. A quote from a wonderfully extravagant advertisement from The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, in fact.
Yes, yes, Mr. Shoei. Anyway, it doesn't look like Miss Pavlova is going to tell us what really happened.
It's almost like the writers wrote themselves into a corner.
Well, I'm sure it's like we'll solve it at some point, and it'll be like, I think it's like too early for a plane, right? But it could be like a hot air balloon or something. She like repelled down, and like that was like what bumped the boat and tipped all the books over or something. Friend. So the friend you mentioned is inside your traveling case. Is that right?
I don't think animals are allowed on board according to the rules of passage.
No, please don't tell any of the crew that they found my precious.
Then the burly Russians would bestir themselves in unison to throw you and your case overboard, no doubt.
I really feel like she can trust them with the pet. Ah! So reassuring, Mr. Sholmes.
But what sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy? Isn't it?
No. Maybe an adorable little rabbit? No.
Ha! Your credit Russian as a land with small rabbits, do you?
It'll be an entire adult-sized bear. It just pops out of the suitcase. Oh, don't they have small rabbits there then?
You may well ask. I have no idea. You two are miserable bunglers when it comes to understanding the nature of a young ballerina's friend. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chicken.
Really?
Consider the benefits. A rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs. And when adversity strikes, it could satisfy the needs of sustenance.
So you'd eat your friends. I'll remember that. No.
Well, it would appear this friend's identity is a closely guarded secret not to be revealed.
She obviously doesn't quite trust us yet. Something I should like to show her, I think. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it. What would that be? Oh, this. The Russian. Okay. That's my guess. That or the diary. Let's try the diary, actually, because the speckled band thing. Oh, do I even have the ability to present it? No, it's... This is the diary of my friend who passed away. His diary? Yes, and he wrote it in it last night before he died. Something a little unusual. It reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. And a few minutes later, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? I don't understand. It's strange, isn't it? With the ventilator he mentions joins to this cabin, you see. It's up there on the wall.
And the victim's cabin are connected together.
Oh,
Miss Pavlova, has something occurred to you? Does the speckled band the victim mentioned mean something to you? Or the whistling sound, perhaps?
no. I don't know anything. Oh. Knock, knock. Excuse me, Mr. Roylott. Wow, she came back really quickly. Yes, what? We have the same voice now, because I can only do one Russian accent. Wow, she's fast. Captain would like to speak with you. You must come to Captain's quarters at once, please. We are two Russians speaking on Russian boat, and we speak English in front of Japanese people. It makes sense. All right, I will come now. I picked these shears back up because artists do not want to make new model. What? You must leave now. Oh no, it's fine. Don't mind us.
Yes, please, don't yourself, Mr. Royland. We totally won't go through
Get
your
out!
bar.
The passenger said out, or do you want me to throw you out? That was more Austrian. Looks like we'll have to leave investigating this cabin until later.
What a pity.
And so we lost our chance. Having still not managed to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin, we were unceremoniously chased out. That is to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside. To be continued. of January, SS Brea, first class cabin, passageway. Oh, just
Dum dum.
do we have a number?
I wish we had thrown out like that.
I wish we managed to find some clues as to what that speckled band might be. Well, if they're not going to call it the terror, then it must be the snake.
We didn't manage to investigate at all. And I imagine that we won't be able to for a long while longer. We'll never get past the sailor guarding the door.
He's clearly glaring at us, as if to say, don't even think about it. Oh, wait a minute.
What is...
Well, what happened to our great detective friend? Where did he go?
He's completely dis...
When did he do that? He slipped away as quietly as the wind, but not before ensuring these were securely back on my wrists. Well, can't even talk to that guy, so he's not going to do that. Whoops. Can we just go back to our room? Can we go through the door now? Was this already? Oh. It's locked. I can't open it. John, are you there? Uh oh. Rip.
What?
Oh, are you there now?
Yeah.
Okay. You
No, it must have, like, clipped out.
No, well, that stands to reason. No one wants to let the murderer escape.
Gosh, she had a very stern look when she said that. I think we can only go back to our room. Like. It's 9th of January, SS Brea, first class cabin, number 1.
Dum dum.
They're still investigating in here.
Yes, on that subject. I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga is unscathed.
Oh, I forgot he was even on this boat.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean unscathed?
Surely you haven't forgotten, have you, Naruhodo-san?
When he fought that Kraken?
God.
Don't you remember what he said about you not letting you out of the cabin to investigate? He was going to talk to the captain about it. He said he'd lay his life on the line for you.
Oh shit, F. In the chat. Oh, yes. But I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see what he has to say for himself. Might have some new information for us. You never know. Was this sailor him?
No, he was another sailor.
Okay. Well, where is he then? Oh, is this one?
Oh.
Okay. Alright, that solves that problem. Oh my god!
Had the shit beat out of him.
Jesus Christ. Ah, you're back. Inspector!
Your faces!
Please, don't worry about it. I'm actually bleeding less now. They're just scratches. Maybe a bear, baby. When I told the captain I'd given you permission to investigate, he told me he'd pummel me with his fists and then toss me overboard. What? But the pummeling was over in a flash, and he must have decided against throwing me overboard. So it was nothing, really. Looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to.
To your efforts, we now know a little about the neighboring cabin.
Yes, so I understand.
Oh,
I bumped into a man claiming to be a great detective a short while ago. I think his name was something like Herr Lock Shomes. I don't think he was German, though. Ah, that explains it. Shall we compare notes then? We can tell you what we found out. Yes, let's do it. Damn, this guy got shit beaten out of him. What? Nikolina Pavlova? She's in the cabin next door? Oh, did you?
Swoon.
Yeah, do you know who she is? Please, what self-respecting ballet fan wouldn't know that a graceful angel? Cough. Cough, 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 cough. Oops, I think I upset him there.
Oh god.
Well, that tells us the neighboring cabin is unrelated to the case, at least. Oh, how? Because angels don't go around committing crimes, do they? Oops, now I've definitely upset him.
Has your investigation in here proved fruitful?
If I'm honest, there's very little more that I can do. Our duty is to make sure the scene isn't disturbed, ready to hand over to the Hong Kong police, which I have fucked up consistently. Throughout my entire career, the scene has always been disturbed. So I'm just keeping watch here, trying to take my eyes off the job.
Oh, I see.
Ah, there is one thing. I have a small piece of new information for you. The captain has a mean right hook. Oh, what?
Yes, do tell us, Inspector, please.
The new information. What's this new information you have, Inspector? It's this. The Berea's medical officer has finished his examination of the body. I mentioned to obtain the report. Oh. Kazuma's post-mortem report? John, did you get...
Yeah, Kazuma-sama. Sorry, it's
Sorry.
I think it cut out.
Kazuma-sama! So, what was the cause of death? He was too gay. Damage to the cervical vertebra is what's written in the report. Which one is the cervical one? Oh, his neck.
His broken.
Yes, it would seem so. There were no obvious wounds or other signs of injury. So at first I think they were considering poison. But it turns out they found no trace of poison in his system at all. And so I guess it wasn't a snake, unless it's doing the same thing from the first case where it's a poison that they just don't know about.
That would be like too repetitive, though.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what weapon was used then?
I guess a snake could have like strangled it.
Snake just like breaks his neck like a solid snake or something. Like the snap.
Snake.
But nothing has been found as yet, but the fact that there are no signs of a wound suggests it may have been a blunt object, something that would leave a mark. Oh, I see.
Through the to the brain. A strong enough impact to the neck could induce death. It is a possibility, and no obvious wound would be left.
Poor Kazuma. I have a second copy of the report. If it might be useful, you're welcome to have it. Really? Are you sure? Yes, it's fine. I trust you. After all, if I didn't trust you, I'd never have agreed to you leaving this cabin in the first place, would I? Ah. The post-mortem report has been entered into the court record. Let's see. Victim, male, Far Eastern, time of death, sometime between 1 a.m. and a little past 2 a.m. Cause of death, damage to the cervical vertebra, resulting in instant death. The victim's neck was almost certainly broken as a result of a strong blow to the area. No obvious external injuries or traces of poison. The great detective.
This was here, was he?
Yes, he seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much as he crept around about on the floor investigating. But then he suddenly left. I suppose he must have become bored. I don't know how did he go into this room and then leave without us noticing? Because we went out into the hallway and then went into this room. Like, at what
But
point?
he disappeared.
At what point did he get out without us noticing? Did you say anything at all? Actually, now that you mention it, yes, just one thing. But he practically shouted it. It's shoe polish, was all he said. Shoe polish? I wonder what he meant. Must be the purple stuff. It was when he was over there. By the piece of broken glass. Do you see? Okay, so also, I just, like... It can't be that he died of a single wound. Because, like, from the one attack, because he wrote something in blood.
Yeah.
So either the killer wrote that in his blood, or not his blood, in the ink. So either the killer wrote it in the ink, or he didn't die right away. And it's funny that they would use that game. It's probably that one. It's probably that the killer faked it, because that is what happened in the second case of the first game, which is like a parallel to this one because it's the death of your mentor character. Nailed it.
Oh.
Spoilers, by the way.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. It was when he was over there by the piece of broken glass. Do you see? Oh, that's the shoe polish, not the purple stuff. Okay.
Do you think?
Ah, yes, that must be it. But how could Mr. Sholmes know that it's shoe polish? That leaves me cold, I'm afraid. I have no idea. Oh, what is it, Suzato-san? Done, you're cutting out again.
Oh.
Well... Kazuma-sama was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan hue.
Dark tan? Sort of dark brownish red, then.
Yes, a little like the color of red wine, but darker. I often repaired them for him.
How often did he break his damn shoes?
Often enough, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, does this mean that this mark was made by the polish on Kazuma's shoes and they scuffed on the floor? So he was like dragged in here. He was killed somewhere else and dragged in here, I bet. Which is why they didn't hear anything. Yeah, like he went out for a walk at the nighttime probably to do whatever mysterious mission he was on. They killed him out there, and then they dragged his body back in. That's my guess. That's really all I can tell you at this stage. I should return to my post. In the corner over there. My fellow crewmen's eyes are boring into the back of my head. Yeah, that might be for the best. Thank you. Cough, cough.
You look exhausted.
Oh, no. Well... I feel terrible that I failed to protect Asogi-san. He was my responsibility.
You should.
Yeah, you really fucked up. Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You were his friends. The truth is, I seem to have had a heavy head ever since I woke this morning. A heavy head? That's interesting. My head's still throbbing too. I guess either they were all poisoned, or like when the ship rocked, they all hit their heads in their sleep or something. I can talk to this dude, maybe?
You! Where did you go?
Oh, sorry. I just went to the next door cabin to investigate.
Why? Who gave you permission for this?
Well, I mean, Seaman Hosanaga did.
Humph. That new Japanese, was it? Later, I will roll him into ball and throw him in cold room.
I will call it sushi.
God.
Whew, he's gone back to guarding the door.
I hope Inspector Hosanaga doesn't find himself in too much trouble on our account.
He's really gone out of his way to help us, hasn't he? When we get back to Japan, we'll have to take him for a steak at La Carnival.
That could be a very long time from now, Naruhara-san.
I probably can't leave.
Can you click on the scuff?
Oh, I thought we, if we already have it in our evidence, I thought it would be good, but let's see. Here we go.
It really is such a beautiful color, this glass.
It looks like whatever it was has broken clean in two. But the other half is nowhere to be seen. Then there's the brick-colored mark. Oh, that was you, sorry.
Color.
Which is shoe polish, according to that great detective you seem to know all about.
I must be from Kazuma-sama's shoes.
Maybe. But what I'd like to know is, how can the detective be so sure that it's shoe polish and not something else?
Because he's a great detective, of course.
That's hardly a reason, is it?
But there's not a check mark on...
Not the bed. Something else. So this ventilator joins to Miss Pavlova's cabin.
That's right.
And just a few minutes before he died, Kazuma saw something emerging from it. The speckled band, as he described it.
If only I'd been able to shed some light on it, but she seemed as baffled as we are.
Yes, I wonder if she's telling us everything, though.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I know most people aboard would say the same about me, but there was something about that woman that did sit right with me.
Oh, like the curio thing.
Where?
Like there's no check mark there.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have forgot what a curio is. This is where Kazuma spent his final moments writing his diary.
1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
Looking at his writing here on this page, it's almost impossible to believe that he's gone.
Kazuma-sama left us with a valuable clue in these words. I'm sure of it. We have to solve this mystery, Naruhodo-san.
We will.
And then like the outline.
Oh yeah, okay. So it's clear that these letters were written with the ink that was somehow spilt on the floor. They spelled the Russian word for wardrobe.
It does seem to be an unambiguous pointer to you, Naruhodo-san, as you were sleeping in there.
But to be truly unambiguous, it should have just spelled out my name, don't you think?
Well, either way, one fact remains. It's hard to imagine that Kazuma-sama would have written his last words or word in Russian.
It begs the question of who did write it. No, same thing, I bet.
And then I think like the debris on the right on the floor you can click on.
No, it's like it's
Okay, but yes. Oh, the books. I don't think they had a check mark.
Yeah. All the books provided for passengers occupying this cabin, neatly arranged on the shelf.
They were all over the place when we first looked around, if you remember.
Oh yes, and you tidied them up, didn't you? You fucked up the crime scene.
You have to look after the ship's property. Unruly behavior in the cabins leads to damage.
But it really wasn't me who knocked them over.
Well, anyway, I feel much better. Now they're neatly lined up. I can relax when things are untidy.
Yeah, everything else is perfectly tidy in this room. It's
Yes.
just the books.
And then I think the rules.
Yeah. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Buria.
Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden.
So by bringing her pet on board, Miss Pavlova has broken the rules. Which we've already talked about 3 times.
Yep.
She called it her friend, didn't she?
Yes, although we don't know what form this friend takes as yet.
I'm almost certain that whatever it is, it's inside the traveling case in her
What do you
cabin.
mean almost? She said it was.
Yeah.
My friend, there's more to this than it seems, I think. Can I leave? Let's see what's in there. Yes, okay. 9th of January, SS Buria, first class, cabin, passageway.
Dum dum.
Look, Hana-san! Seaman Stroganoff is gone!
Strong enough?
The burly Russian sailor who's always crossing his arms and glaring at us.
All these Russian names are impossible to remember. Tra-la-la.
Oh, is that
I don't know.
Sholmes?
Probably. I have no idea. Did you hear that? It sounded like someone singing. Tra-la-la-la. Tra-la-la. Lira-lira-lay. I did it. Oh, I did it the Great Detective way. Okay, it probably
Oh my
just
god.
This Caroline! I know that lark-like voice!
Well, never mind that now. This is a golden opportunity for us.
Yes, you're right. We must seize it. Let's get inside this Pavlova's cabin while we can and investigate.
Let's keep pissing off the crew.
Definitely.
Oh, sorry.
Definitely! Before the stringy knot crewman comes back.
It's Stroganoff, not Stringy Knot.
Jake is telling me to look down the hallway. I wanna, like, if the person's sitting right there. Do we talk to him, or do we go into the room again? Let's see, maybe he'll ignore us.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Mr. Sholmes, look!
Wow, you never know where he's gonna turn up next, do you?
He seems to be stealing a look at something as he sings to himself.
Tra-la-la-lira-lira-lay. I did it the Great Detective way.
He's still singing. Do you think he hasn't noticed us?
Or simply in extremely high spirits.
Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when the yard bit off more than it could chew. And through it all, when there was doubt, it was lucky Herlock was about.
Excuse me.
I solved it all and I stood tall. I did it the great detective way.
Mr. Schultz!
Ah! What is it you want to fight, huh? Honestly, interrupting a fellow when he's singing, and I was just about to reach the climactic finish.
Sorry, I thought you were never going to stop, so I figured now is as good a time as any.
I very nearly dropped you to the floor with one of my famous right hooks.
Alright, I get the picture. Now could you put those fists away?
He looks more like he's
unequipped fists.
dancing.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Herlock, your modern dance instructor.
Nice.
Mr. Shaw! You seemed to be examining something before we interrupted you. Yes, that. I was immersed in studying the ship's log as penned by the stockily built crewmen who usually on guard there.
Oh yes, the ship's log.
And did you find out anything useful from it?
Well, after 2 a.m. this morning, the majority of the entries are blank.
Which means that there was nothing to report. Nothing of note happened, so...
You truly are a student from the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it.
What?
Your logic, my boy, is inverted.
Whatever do you...
Whatever you mean, Mr. Michels.
Gosh, Andrew.
Don't know.
Observe the other pages and all shall become clear. It would seem the same crewman oft stands sentry in this first-class passageway. And he has an almost religious practice of recording nothing to report every half hour.
Oh, he writes that in every 30 minutes?
Nothing to report.
Precisely. Put simply, the seaman writes nothing to report when there is just that. And yet, the ship's log from the last night is largely blank and he didn't even write nothing to report.
Do you mean?
Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night which led to the seaman being absent from his post.
What kind of circumstances? What happened?
That remains a mystery for now, but we can be sure something significant took place. So significant that it caused the seaman to forget his regular habit of scribing nothing to report in the log. These are important details. I would stake my life on it. You must log the ship's log in your mental file.
The ship's log has been entered into the court record. Now that deduction was worthy of a great detective.
You're starting to understand what my way is, I see. What makes Sholmes brilliant. Ouch.
What is it? Are you hurt?
Oh, don't worry yourself. I seem to be afflicted with a throbbing head this morning. For some reason, nothing more. Well, my friends, until our next encounter.
He's still singing to himself. I can hear it as he wanders off down the passageway. Something wrong, Susanoo-san? You seem lost in thought.
Well, I feel the same.
Sorry?
Ever since I woke this morning, I've had something of a headache. A sort of continuous throbbing.
Oh, you too?
I wonder if there's like a gas leak.
Yes, it's either and I think in the last episode, the main character said that he didn't remember what happened in the previous night. So yeah, it's either like some kind of gas leak, or when the ship rocked back and forth, everyone coincidentally hit their head on something.
Oh,
Oh, so water just out and the pet's out. Okay. 9th of January, SS Buria, first class cabin, number 2. Donk donk.
dum.
Miss Pavlova isn't back yet. Susanna-san, oh, where's she gone? Hey, what are you doing? Those are her private things.
Get us.
You cut out for that one.
There's not a moment to waste, Narahano-san. We must investigate as quickly as we can.
I suppose you're right, for Kazuma's sake.
Just for Kazuma-sama.
What do you mean?
It can't be long now until we arrive at port in Hong Kong. I don't want you to be in those handcuffs when we get there.
These handcuffs?
We must solve this case, Narahano-san, by ourselves if we have to.
Yes, we will. She trusts me. Alright. Oh, that's the wrong button.
Did it cut out?
Yeah.
Oh my, Miss Pavlova's case is open.
It's completely empty inside, but according to the great detective's great deduction, she was hiding her special friend in there.
Yes, a friend that she had to keep secret.
Because you're not allowed to bring animals aboard the SS Buria. Why do we keep saying this shit? I wonder what kind of animal she had in there. And more to the point, where is it now?
This little monster is doing on the floor.
Yes, it doesn't look like it's been dropped. Like it was put there deliberately.
Ah! Do you think? Do you think there could be a leak in the roof just above here?
Oh god, the boat's sinking.
From above.
Yeah. What? A leak?
Is this ship quite safe?
I'm sure that even if there is a little leak in the roof, it doesn't mean the whole ship is gonna sink.
No, you're right. Of course you're right. The Titanic hasn't happened yet.
She's really trying to persuade herself, isn't she?
It would seem the teapot is empty.
So the natural conclusion is that the Russians are a very thirsty people.
Or, because Miss Pavlova only came into the cabin last night, she hasn't had the chance to make any tea yet. I mean, it could be either.
It's definitely that they're excessively thirsty. I'd lay 1,000 to 1 on it.
You're rather obstinate, aren't you, Naruhodo-san?
There are just a few books on the desk, and nothing else by the looks of it.
Well, Miss Pavlova only ran away from the ballet last night. She hardly occupied this cabin for any time at all.
That's true. I wonder what kind of book she likes to read.
Let me see. Yes, I see. It would seem that Miss Pavlova enjoys reading Karl Marx. Books written in Russian.
Thanks, I think I probably already knew that.
It's rude to ask too much of people, Naruhodo-san. Kindly remember that.
All the books have toppled over together. Look, every single one.
See, perhaps he's toppled too, though.
It's exactly the same as the bookcase next door. In Kazuma's cabin.
Perhaps Miss Pavlova was practicing a difficult ballet pose and fell against the bookcase.
I don't know. Would you really be practicing ballet on the same night she ran away from her ballet company?
Alright then. It must have been you. You lost your temper and knocked them all over in a fit of rage.
Not everything bad that happens on the ship is because of me, you know. Just the murder.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'll set them all straight again
Stop!
here too. I
No!
don't like seeing things in disarray.
I hate evidence! If this is a point later where, like, we try to prove something by pointing out that the books are all knocked over, and they're like, what are you talking about? In this picture of the crime scene, you can tell the books are all straight up. I'm gonna be bad.
Oh, yeah.
The trash can here?
I suppose every cabinet has a waste paper basket.
Shall we have a little look and see what's been thrown away?
Naruhodo-san! It's poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know.
Ugh, those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now.
However, these are special circumstances, I think.
Exactly, we have no choice. There's hardly anything in here at all.
Disappointing.
We can click on the rules again, just in case if we forgot.
Yeah. So this ventilator connects to the cabin next door.
Oh, wow.
Yes, although what a fool a shipbuilder must be to open a ventilator into another room.
Ah, maybe. It's so that if there is a gas leak next door, the occupant of this cabin would notice and raise the alarm.
Or the occupant of both cabins would die of gas poisoning.
That is a possibility. Anyway, last night, Kazuma wrote that he saw a speckled band coming out of this ventilator.
Yes, game.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Oh, that's the emergency bell that we found in the hallway, I think.
Yeah.
What was that?
Whoa. Shut down the engines immediately. A vessel is sighted a quarter-mile forward.
Oh, wait, do we think this is the captain?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay,
Full
what do you-
stop!
Oh, yeah,
On to
yes.
starboard! All hands, brace! For impact!
I forgot we made that deal. What the?
I think we're about to crash into another ship.
What?
I can't stand. Susanoo-san,
Hold on to
me.
me. Wah! Susanoo-san, are you alright? Are you injured at all?
I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruhodo-san.
Now, if this was an anime,
Yes.
he would be on top of her in a very
Yes.
precarious position.
It looks like we avoided a collision.
I think.
Yes, the ship has come to a stop.
Oh my goodness. What about you, Naruhodo-san? Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine.
Ah, the door locked.
Oh, it did.
Hello? Is anyone in there? Shout if you need assistance.
Oh, that sounds like... Oh.
Oh.
Inspector Hosonaga!
Yeah, but you're right, though. The thing did lock, so I think I had the right idea the first time. But the other room... Is that you in there, Naruto-san? Unbolt the door, quickly. What? The bolt? John, you cut out again. The door is bolted. Did you do that, Suzaru-san?
Touch it!
Well, that's strange. How did... And look at all the books. They're just like they were before again. I thought I was clever when I figured that out, and now the game's just going to hammer it into our heads before we get to any kind of trouble.
Naruto-san! Aren't you going to open the door and let the inspector in?
Yeah, so this is the thing about like the game that's kind of annoying, right? It's like, we've left you all these clues to make you feel clever, and then nope, we're just gonna talk it to you to death.
Yeah. I'd rather tidy this place up first. What? Why? Stop! Our violent emergency stop had solved one mystery at least in a very vivid way. But I knew that what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I hurried around tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. To be continued. Alright, so we seem to be at the end of a section with only 8 minutes left on our 2-hour timer. I think it makes sense to call it here.
Yep.
Alright. Well, that's the end of the episode then. Are you good for Tuesday?
I don't know.
Okay,
Let me...
I might not be either because I am moving in 2 weeks, so I might be getting ready for stuff. Yeah. So we'll figure it out.
Okay, yeah, I will go ahead and assume no.
Okay. Did I actually save? I don't remember.
No, not yet.
Okay, that's good because I would have just not did it and been very sad the next time we play the game.
Oh god.
So you might see us soon, you might not. But we will get back to this game the next time that we can stream. So goodbye.
Bye-bye.